Good morning, dear students. I am Ms. Vandana Pai. In today's lecture of the subject Global Finance, we will be discussing the content globalization and its impact. Okay, see, in the last lecture, we have gone through the concept of globalization. Then we have discussed the positive impact of globalization, and in today's lecture, we will be discussing the negative impacts of globalization. Okay, so a brief revision of what we have studied in the last lecture. Okay, globalization, yes, this word we have gone through. Okay, we have gone through this word. What is globalization? See, in this after 1991, repeatedly we are hearing this word globalization. What is globalization all about? Yes, the whole world is treated as a global village. Means, okay, previously, as we all know, if we want to establish any transaction with other countries, okay, that is, if we want to establish any international business or international trade, okay, we were supposed to face a problematic situation. What was that problematic situation? Yes, now and then we were required to have permissions, licenses, and then we will establish the trade, right? It was the procedure which was adopted in prior to 1991. But after we have adopted globalization, after we have selected globalization option, what has happened? Yes, the boundaries, the geographical boundaries, okay, they were not limiting, or they are not limiting us for any reasons. Okay, if we want to exchange anything, if we want to exchange our products, if we want to share our products with other countries, or if we want to bring technology or other things from other countries, okay, we can readily do it. Is it? We can readily establish international trade, we can establish international business and all those things. Okay, so why globalization is important, or what are the positive impacts of globalization? We have gone through this positive impact in the last lecture. Okay, now what is the advantage of globalization? First thing is access to new cultures. Okay, if we want to explore new cultures, okay, if you want to explore new culture, see, every country has its culture, every country has its difference, every nation has its difference, right? Okay, so by exploring new countries, by exploring new places, what we can do is, yes, we can tap new markets. Okay, we can tap new customs and traditions which are prevailing into their country. Okay, and what we can do is, yes, we can give some of the best practices prevailing into our country, or we can share some of the best practices prevailing in our country with them, and also we can adopt some of the best culture of them into our country. Okay, even we can generate a product which will be mixture of both the traditions or both the cultures. Okay, means some of the culture, some of the best practices prevailing into our country can be combined with some of the best practices prevailing into their country. Jointly, collaboratively, what we can do is we can complement our product. Okay, so in this way we can have access to new culture. This is one of the positive impact of globalization. Then, yes, there will be spread of technology and innovation. There will be spread of technology and innovation. What is spread of technology and innovation? Yes, okay, some new things, is it, some new combinations, new technology, or latest or modern technologies, okay, which is dynamic in this 21st century, is it, those we can import. Okay, and some of the best things, okay, best products which are prevailing into our country, that can be shared with those countries. Okay, so freely we can exchange the thoughts, exchange new combination, new ideas, and innovations. Okay, innovation means what? Something which is new. Okay, something which is new can be shared with other countries, and something which is new in their countries can be adopted by us. Okay, this is possible only due to globalization. Okay, then it is lower cost for products. Okay, see, for example, whenever we consider the production activity, what is inevitable? Yes, the cost of production, right? Okay, see, whenever you are charging the price of your product, okay, whenever you are fixing the price of your product, at the time what you should be caring about? Yes, always we should be considering the cost of production. Okay, the cost of producing a single unit or cost of producing the entire production activity. Okay, see, whenever we consider the cost of production, okay, it is dependent on the resources which you employ, right? It is dependent on the resources which you employ, right? Now, the resources mainly comprises of the raw materials and other factors of production. Okay, whenever we consider raw materials, yes, the inputs. Okay, for example, if you want to produce, yes, superior quality of products, then yes, the inputs which you purchase, they should also be having a superior quality, right? They should also be having a superior quality. Okay, but if we purchase raw materials having inferior quality, what will happen? Yes, the product which we will be producing, it will be also be having inferior quality. So see, okay, whenever we search for raw materials having superior quality, what happens? Okay, we have to pay more for it, is it? But whenever we have access to international market, okay, we can search for more options. Okay, we can search for more options through which we can easily get the inputs, okay, in lower price. Okay, in lower price. So this thing, due to this, our cost of production can be minimized. Okay, if we can control the cost of production, we can also control the price of our product, which will surely be helpful for us to, yes, to expand or to gain a stability in the market. Okay, then higher standard of living across the globe. Yes, higher standard of living across the globe. What it means? Yes, see, whenever you go on expanding your business, yes, whenever you go on establishing your branches across the country, what happens? Yes, you hire new talent, you hire new employees. Okay, and whenever you provide employment opportunities to many, yes, their standard of living will be increased through this, because okay, the previously unemployment problem which that person was facing, due to which his standard of living was affected, surely you can salute this problem by providing employment opportunity to that person, is it? Whenever he will be earning a regular income, it will be always helpful for that person to enrich his standard of living. Okay, then access to new markets. Yes, surely, okay, you will be provided with an opportunity to access new markets. Okay, see, we are aware about the term niche marketing. Niche marketing, what is done? Yes, you can target some of the products which are not targeted by other people. Okay, whenever we think about the whole globe, okay, all a whole world, at the time, or different foreign countries, at the time, there are some of the products which are never targeted by some of the um, manufacturers or producers, or where the concentration of suppliers is done. Okay, what you can do is you can enter into such type of field and you can target such type of market, and through that you can achieve or accomplish the goals of your organization. Okay, then access to new talent. What is access to new talent? What is done into access to new talent? Yes, okay, see, what you can do? Yes, you can appoint people having specializations. Okay, and whenever you are adopting the recruitment policy, at the time, okay, your the scope of recruiting, it is quite expanded, because any person from any corner of the world can now apply for your employment. Okay, that person can apply for your job, is it? And as per the job specification, you can, okay, match that job specification with that person, okay, and you can give the employment opportunity to that person. Okay, see, that person will also be benefited, and okay, through his skills your organization can also progress. If that person has creative ability, creative skills, innovation and all, yes, surely it will lead your organization towards progress. Okay, then it is international recruiting. Yes, see, as like I just have explained. Okay, international recruiting. What is international recruiting? What is done in international recruiting? Yes, see, previously you might have restricted your recruitment process to the location in which your business was located. Okay, for example, if your business was in Pune, okay, you might have restricted the recruitment for that location itself. Okay, now, okay, whenever you switch over to international market, yes, anybody from any corner of the world can apply for your job, is it? So you can experience international recruiting. Then managing employee immigration, is it? Managing employee immigration. Yes, see, previously, um, what were happening, yes, the employee was in need of promotion to foreign countries, or they were willing to work in the foreign countries. So if your business was not having international relations, or if your business was not having an international branch, then what these people were doing? Yes, these people were switching over. Okay, they were searching another job in which they can have job in the international or other countries. Okay, but now as you have switched over to international market, yes, you can provide opportunity to this person to work there. Okay, so that person will be satisfied, they will never leave your job, or there will be no turnover. Okay, these are some of the positive impact of globalization. Now the negative impact of globalization. Yes, see, same things. Okay, whenever we take globalization positively, okay, there are certain disadvantages also. For example, international recruiting. Okay, first thing is international recruiting. See, whenever you hire someone from other countries, yes, you are supposed to pay that much high to that person. Okay, and if your business is at initial stage, or if your business doesn't have that much profit, okay, yes, your business, if it is earning normal profit, what will happen, is it? Okay, see, whenever you're recruiting skilled laborers from abroad, at the time they also expect that type of remuneration, that type of compensation whenever they will be working with you. Okay, and if you are not able to pay them that much, what will happen? Yes, switch over. These people will turn over, they will leave your job and accept job with another company, is it? So it will quite affect your business, right? If frequently there is labor turnover, then it can affect your business, because you have highlighted the talent from abroad so that your organization will be benefited. But what happened? Yes, you are not able to compensate them, so due to this there was turnover. Okay, this is one of the negative impact of globalization. Then managing employee immigration. Managing employee immigration, what is it? Okay, how it has a negative impact? Yes, okay, see, whenever we consider migration. Okay, see, for example, if you have 100 employees working into your organization, okay, all of the 100 employees, if they are willing to work abroad, what will happen? Who will work with you in the home country? Who will work with you in your headquarter, in the present company? Is it? So there will be quite conflicting situation, is it? And managing these employees, okay, it will be quite impossible. So whenever we think about globalization, this can be a problem, is it? How to manage the migration of the employees? This can be one of the challenge before the businessman. Then incurring tariffs and export fees. Okay, though there is flexibility into restrictions and permissions and all those things, still, okay, you are supposed to pay some tariffs and fees for exporting. Okay, so whenever we consider this type of situation, okay, see, whenever you are doing the first international trade, or whenever you are conducting international business for the first time, what will happen? Okay, yes, you are required to pay some tariffs. So whenever we think about the overseas market, okay, we are supposed to pay some of the fees, some of the tariffs, okay, to sell our products abroad. Okay, so whenever at the initial stage we are doing this activity of international business or international trade, it might not be affordable for the business at the initial stage. So this is one of the negative impact of globalization actually. Okay, then payroll and compliance challenges. Another common globalization expansion obstacle is managing overseas payroll and maintaining compliance with changing employment and tax laws. This management task gets even more difficult if you are trying to manage operations in multiple markets. Okay, see, whenever you are operating in so many markets, more than 2 or 3 markets, okay, at the time, okay, what happens usually due to this? Okay, the manager who is at the headquarter, it might be quite difficult for that person to manage all this market, because every market is different, is it? As per the economy in which your international business or your business will take place, your trade will take place. Okay, as per the situation in those market itself, is it? Different different things your business might be facing. Okay, how to manage the task of such type of different markets? Okay, because every country has a different policy. Okay, every market has its different policy. Okay, and to learn those policies and react equivalently, okay, this will be quite difficult. Okay, and it might result into a conflicting position. Okay, then loss of cultural identity. See, while globalization has made foreign countries easier to access, it has also begun to meld unique societies together. The success of certain cultures throughout the world cause other countries to emulate them. But when cultures begin to lose their distinctive features, we lose our global diversity. See what has happened? Yes, every any country adopts any culture, is it? Any country adopts any culture. Okay, due to this there is mixture of culture, and the original identity of that country, it has loosened. Okay, so there is a loss of cultural identity. This is one of the negative impact of globalization. Then foreign worker exploitation. See, as we all know, is it, you are recruiting overseas, right? See, some of the countries, they are graced with the labor resources, and some of the countries, they are graced with the capital intensive techniques. Okay, see, whenever we think about this different economies, okay, see, if the laborers they are if the laborers they are recruited from abroad, okay, usually whenever there is concentration of laborers, okay, the labors or the wages which are paid to these people, it might be cheap or it might be less, okay, because as per the availability of laborers, cheaper rates might be charged, and it might not be affordable to that person, so there will be exploitation of foreign workers actually. Then global expansion difficulties for businesses that want to go global and discover the benefits of globalization. For such businesses, setting up a compliant overseas presence is difficult. If companies take the traditional route of setting up an entity, they need substantial capital. Okay. Additionally, if the business wants to grow, okay, or expand, then it will be quite difficult as per the labor laws prevailing in those countries. Okay, when we think about expanding of our business into new countries, companies must be aware of how to navigate new legal system, because everywhere whenever you enter, okay, you are required to care about their policies. You should study the policies, do research, and then only you should be entering, or else what will happen if you move towards trial and error, then surely it might be your financial loss, right? Okay, then immigration challenges and local job loss. Okay, see, the political climates in the other countries, and they are different, is it? Many countries around the globe, they are uh, tightening their immigration rules, and it is harder to for immigrants to find job in new countries. Okay, this rise nationalism is mainly due to anger from the perception that foreigners fill domestic jobs and all these issues. Okay, so whenever we think about this, okay, those immigrants, okay, those people who has migrated to another country, what about them, what about their jobs? Is it they don't find the jobs there? Okay, so they are supposed to lose job there also, and they are supposed to return to their home country. Okay, so this is one of the impact of the globalization, because leaving the current job what they had done, they had switched over to other countries. Okay, and if the other country also not accept them, then what will happen is they are supposed to return to their home country and search for new job. This can be quite harming to the economy, right? So whenever we consider globalization, there are certain negative impact, right from the international recruiting, managing employee immigration, incurring tariffs and export fees, payroll and compliance challenges, loss of cultural identity, foreign worker exploitation, global expansion difficulties, and immigration challenges and local job loss. Okay, so with this we conclude today's lecture. Thank you.